YouTube channel and my Temple of Ascension Facebook community. If you're new here, my name is Claire Gorman, and this channel is all about ascension and spirituality. Please feel free to subscribe, and I'd love to hang out with you some more. So this is my January 2026 channeled Akashic overview for the Temple of Ascension community. I've pulled some Akashic Oracle cards and tuned into the collective energy. We're going to talk about really what this month is all about. We're going to talk about collective learnings, the temple embodiment, the shadows to watch out for, and the anchored medicine that we need to be calling in to support us this month. But before we truly dive in, I have some exciting news for you all. I'm bringing back my Quantum Codes Mastermind. We start on January the 20th all the way through to March the 10th, so we have 8 weeks together. We're going to collapse timelines, clear contracts, and rise you into your highest identity. We're going to clear soul contracts. We're going to clear past life loops, and addictive patterns are going to be transmuted. We're going to do frequency attunements and unlock your next level of divine timing and open up more wealth, visibility, and step you into your next level of legacy. And this is perfect for you if you're ready to really reclaim more soul gifts which are buried under old contracts and vows. If you want to step up and lead with more clarity, more alignment, more confidence, we're going to collapse years of growth into just a number of weeks, and we're going to embody it and get you stepping into and living the life that you have been manifesting. So if you want more details, then just have a look at the captions below. All the links are placed there. And don't forget to say hello in the comments so I can really feel you. And if you're listening to this as a replay, hello, lovely to meet you. So when you're ready, let's kick off. And I just want to say, just take what lands and leave what doesn't. And remember to trust your own inner knowing as the highest authority. Okay, so let's open up this space and talk about the cards and the channeling that is coming through for us all as a collective. So as we set the theme for January, what's come through is about safety, protection, boundaries, belonging, and creating a self-held space. It's about setting up really great foundations for 2026. And it's really about setting your frequency and setting your frequency through your nervous system, establishing clear energetic boundaries, and what it really means to be in a relationship without being entangled. So I'm going to share the cards that came through for this month because they were so crystal clear. And I want you to listen, not just with your mind, but I want you to listen with your heart and your body. Because when we start talking through frequency, and your body and your soul is going to feel that too. So the first card we pulled was the question around the collective learning. And the card that came through was balance and flow. So this message, flow is not a luxury, flow is all about protection. And that came through very strong. And what my guides were saying to me through these cards was, when your flow is missing, the distortions run in. And the running in or rushing in of distortions is things like burnout, overcommitting, lack of joy, control patterns, and guilt that makes you feel like you have to prove your worth. So the collective lesson that this month is showing us is, can you protect your energy by protecting your rhythm and flow? Because here's the truth. If your schedule is porous, then your aura becomes porous. If your life is crowded, your energy becomes accessible. And when your energy becomes accessible, boundaries become harder to hold. So then I asked the question to the guides, okay, so what can we call in to support us in correcting the balance and flow and the rhythm this month? And what stepped forward was beautiful dragon energy. And they showed me about setting up a beautiful dragon sanctuary. So I went over and I pulled two cards fell out. And they were the dragon cards from Diana Cooper. And the two cards that came out, which was really interesting, was the fire dragon, because obviously we're moving into the fire horse. So the fire dragon burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. And the other dragon card that came through was the earth dragon. So clears your path and the land around you. Stay grounded. Be ready to serve. Stuck energy is clearing and you can move forward in life. With the two cards, it feels very yin and yang. You know, the fire energy is just burning away, okay, and it's happening for you, not to you. And then we've got this earth energy that, because the fire energy is coming in and clearing, is allowing you to ground new pathways forward. So with that in mind, I want to give you a simple practice right now. I want you to ask yourself, what is one thing I can remove this month to restore flow? And then ask yourself, what is one thing I can protect this month as sacred? And what is one thing I can add to bring in genuine nourishment? So it's remove one, protect one, nourish one. And that is going to be your sacred flow for this month. Remove one, protect one, nourish one. And it might be that you look at that every single week. And if January is already starting to feel intense, this is why. Because the collective is asking you to recalibrate at a new pace. Okay, then I moved on to asking, what are we ready to embody? And it was actually releasing guilt. And when this card comes out, it's always a big juicy one, because guilt is one of the most powerful invisible binders for very sensitive heart-led people, because it disguises itself as love, loyalty, responsibility, and of course being a good person. And we always want to be seen as a good person. Being a good person isn't about being a pushover. And that's something that I've had to really learn. But deep down, the shadow side of all of this, underneath, guilt often creates self-abandonment. So January, our guides are asking us to become a new kind of safe, create a new kind of safety. So saying it's safe to say no, and I ended up pulling the Rebecca Campbell Work Your Light cards. The first card came out was no, wait, postpone, pause and say no, which then ties back to that first card of remove one, protect one, nourish one. And some of us actually really have a hard time learning to say no. You know, some of us actually have our no's and our yeses round the wrong way, and you can actually muscle test for that. My no means no, and my yes means yes. So what came out was, this no card. So it's safe to say no. It's safe to disappoint someone. It's safe to choose ourselves without apology. And it's safe to repair ourselves when needed without pushing ourselves forward. And it was interesting because the three cards that came out for the Rebecca Campbell was no, wait, postpone, pause and say no. And then another card came out was the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? And the crumbling card really sat with this in regards to letting go of other people's expectations about you. And then the third card that came out was this pillar of light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Because when we're holding on to all of this and other people's expectations, it really leads to overgiving, over-explaining and over-functioning. So if guilt is really loud for you this month, it's not a sign that you're doing it wrong, it's a sign that you're outgrowing old contracts. And because we're in this new season, quarter one of 2026, it's a good time to remind you all of clearing old contracts of 2025 and starting to do new energetic contracts of 2026. We spoke a lot about this in psychic surgery training, so for my psychic surgeons out there, it's a good time to make sure that you have done your end of 2025 and new 2026 energetic contracts. And if you're not sure how to do this, then feel free to step into the Quantum Codes Mastermind, because we will be clearing all old, outdated contracts in that mastermind. And the new code that we're going to bring down into the temple for this month is: I can still be devoted to myself and still be sovereign. I can still be devoted to others and still be sovereign. And I've already dropped into the Temple of Ascension the complimentary healing for this month, and it is the Heart Song. So if you haven't checked that out, I would highly recommend it. I've had some beautiful feedback on that, but I'll also drop the link to that meditation under this voice note. Okay, so then I pulled Shadows to Watch Out For, and it was the Family Ties card, and I'm not surprised, because some of our greatest lessons and learnings, especially around boundaries and relationships, comes through family. And when I started to look at the spread of all the different cards, what came very strongly through for January is working through relationships and the relationship temple. So you might be seeing the balance and flow and the guilt, the lessons coming through from family. When we look at family ties, it doesn't necessarily mean that our family is bad. It just means our family is very active this month. You might be sensing old agreements, old roles, old expectation and old emotional contracts coming up that need to be shifted and cleared. So once again, Quantum Codes Mastermind will be amazing to step in and clear those. The other option is, if you want to learn how to clear these old agreements, roles, expectations and emotional contracts, is to step into the Akashic Records training, which is going to happen in April. So if you want to learn how to do them for yourself but also do it as a practitioner, then that is the training that is going to support that. So old contracts, it's an energy that really pulls you back into old versions of you. And unless you clear those contracts, those energetic contracts, and when I say energetic contracts, it could be oaths, vows, contracts, commitments, promises, obligations and covenants that have been taken through the ancestral line and through past life. That's why I talk about, every season or every quarter or every month is to make sure that you are clearing these contracts, because it does hold you back into old versions of yourself. And it's incredibly frustrating for you. It has that energy of like 3 steps forward, 2 steps back all the time. And you really just want to break free. And that was another card that came through, was the Breaking Free card. January for you may reveal where you're still trying to earn belonging, where guilt and loyalty are intertwined, and where you can also feel responsible for someone else's emotions, and where you're still playing a role that you've outgrown. So that is going to come through. And this is where it's really important to flip the switch. Okay, it's important to remember that you're allowed to release the expectation of a perfect family experience, especially because we've had Christmas and New Year, and sometimes what we expect to go into that holiday season and what actually played out can be 2 different opposites. And remember, you're allowed to tell the truth about what's present, and you're allowed to choose new patterns even if others don't. Because the shadow isn't family itself, the shadow is entanglement. And allow the dragons to come in and clear those bindings. And next week I'm going to drop in a beautiful dragon meditation and healing for you. So then I went forward and I wanted to get more clarifying answers around the shadow card. And I actually, 2 cards that actually popped out. So it was money fears and success anchors. And the reason that I pulled clarifiers was because I wanted to sharpen and hone down in this a little bit more for you. The first one that popped out was money fears. And money fear can really hijack people's boundaries fast. It can 100% make you say yes when you mean no because you feel financially unsafe. And it can keep you tolerating dynamics because stability feels more urgent than sovereignty. And it can push you into overworking, overgiving, or staying silent. So if money fear is present for you in January, you need to ask yourself, where am I making decisions from survival instead of self-held safety? And that's not shame or guilt, that's just beautiful awareness. And then really call on the dragon energy to restore sacred truth, because you can be safe in your body and you can be stable in your choices. That's just a flip of the switch, that's a decision. And then the second one is the success anchor card. And I want to bring this down as a beautiful medicine code. And what I want to bring down is don't just clear patterns. Clear the patterns, clear the distortions, but install new codes. Don't just cut cords. Build new standards. Build new structures. Don't just stop people pleasing. Stop the people pleasing, but anchor in the self-respect at the same time. Bring down the new codes. Because success anchors are what you put in place after the healing. So we establish new templates, because otherwise if you just keep clearing, you create a void, and in that void, under the law of vacuum, it just gets replaced with the same frequency. So we want to put in new foundations. So this month is about ending that binding but build in a new baseline. And if you want help with that, then come and do quantum codes with me. Okay, then I pulled what's the anchored medicine, what's the codes we need to bring down, and it was strengthening boundaries. And where it can be a little bit twisted is we think boundaries is about creating walls. We're not going to create walls, we're not going to shut down, we're not going to cut people off. I want you to start seeing as boundaries as love, boundaries as truth, and boundaries as sacred leadership. And with this card, we're going to ask 2 very clear questions. Where do I need to set boundaries? And how can I do this in a loving and a supportive way? Not dramatic, not aggressive, just clear, direct and clean. Because boundaries are what make belonging possible, and without boundaries, belonging becomes merging, and with boundaries, belongings become safe. And I did a big deep dive throughout December around clean energetic boundaries, because I want to grow and scale this business more and teach more people. I needed to have a good overhaul on mine. So think of this as a beautiful January permission slip. You can have belonging and still have boundaries. You can love people and still choose yourself. You can honour family ties without losing yourself inside them. And you can slow down and still be powerful. Okay, while you're still here, and hopefully you're not driving, we're going to do a live activation. We're going to pull down a beautiful dragon energy and create a beautiful grid and sanctuary around you to support you for this month. So if you're driving, come back and listen to this later. If not, then go ahead and we'll activate this now. So just place a hand on your heart and one on your belly. Take some nice deep breaths in. I want you to imagine a golden red protective field and light around your whole body. Not rigid, just lovely and soft, powerful but sealed. And see this as a beautiful living boundary. And you can repeat after me, out loud or in your mind. I now call down the codes. I now call down the grids, the light grids, to create a sanctuary within myself. I protect my flow. I release guilt from any of my relationships. I honour my family ties without losing myself inside them. I ask to be able to strengthen my boundaries that actually serve me. And I call down the codes so that I can belong to myself first. Now breathe that in and imagine a beautiful boundary line forming around your energy, like a beautiful, clean, crisp, clear circle. And anything that's not yours stays outside the circle. Anything that drains you, we ask that it gets to be dissolved at the edge. And anything that manipulates through guilt cannot enter. And inside the circle, we ask that your intuitive system receives the beautiful messages, the codes of we are safe, we are held, we are sovereign. Okay, so just breathing in and out. And let's just bring down the codes for January, for balance, flow, sovereignty, boundaries and belonging. Okay, my loves, that's January, a beautiful sanctuary month, bringing in those gorgeous divine dragons to support you. You might even feel them around you for the month of January. So that's the fire dragon and the earth dragon. And just remember, January is not about becoming better. It's about being safe. Safer in your body, safer in your energy, safer in your yeses and your nos, safer in your relationships. And if you want to work deeper with this in a way that strengthens your sovereignty, there's 3 pathways. Okay, so there's School of Mastery. So we're going to be doing psychic surgery in February. We've got quantum codes for timeline jumping and shifting and moving you into your highest identity. And that starts January the 20th. And if you'd like to train as a home healer, land blessing certified practitioner, then the doors are open for the next cohort to come in. All the details are below. And feel free to leave a comment on what boundary that you are going to be strengthening this month. Take care, and I will see you very soon.